Hello, humans. Today, in the life of a body man, we will be fixing rust around a windshield. And we'll be fixing rust on the bottom edge of a car. Riveting things will be happening. So let's sit tight, boys and girls, and get us a little R&R. Okay? Let's get some. You guys are probably wondering why I'm so excited. It's because last video that I did before was 50th video. It's a monumental occasion. You think I'm excited now? Wait till I get to 100 videos. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all the energy out of a wet sock and we're gonna harness that energy. Harness that energy for this episode. I think we need a little more energy. I am now harnessing that dog's energy because we all know that an 11-year-old golden retriever has a lot of energy. Anyways, look at the rust on this. So we're putting a new bumper on this truck because it's the whole top edge of this stupid thing. All rust. The whole front edge of it is rust. So we opted to put a new bumper on it. Yeah, it was cheaper just to get a new bumper on it. Yeah. People are probably watching this going like, this guy is dull. And we had to pull the windshield out of this thing because the whole top edge, somebody must have put a windshield in this. That's what happens. So I had to sandblast that whole edge, paint the top edge of the roof. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but when, rooster again. But when you put they put a windshield in, they use a saw and they scratch the top, let me see if I can get this, the top edge of that. They scratch it and they put a little primer on there afterwards. Yeah, there he goes again. That ain't gonna help you. So that's what happens, the whole thing will rust. The best thing to do is when they cut it out, have somebody like me paint because they scratched it, and then you won't have to deal with that. But most people, rare form today. Don't do that. Bye. I have an idea. What you could do is Scotch-Brite that edge with a gray Scotch pad and then dab a little bit of clear over that where they scratched it. That would seal it. It'd be a lot better than the primer. Tape it up so I don't want sandblast all inside the cab, and I taped up those things so I don't want them getting destroyed with the sandblast. Okay, so I started sandblasting. You can see where I stopped, but it's getting all the rust out of that edge. So after I sandblasted it, I ground it down with this over where the sandblasted part was, just to give it more bite when you put the fiberglass on. And I'd always, after you sandblasted and got ready for your fiberglass, don't forget to feather those edges out with 80 grit with sandpaper on the DA, because you don't want to leave all those big grinder marks in and bond over that, because it'll all shrink and look like hell. Can you see me start at the fiberglass that? Rooster doesn't ever stop. All right, so I got my fiberglass on first, did my filler over that, sanded the fiberglass with 36, filler with 80, and now I Scotch-Brited, I did Scotch-Brite. I sanded this right here with 180. I'll put my putty on it and then I'll prime it. This is the top. Yeah, I have to sand the putty real quick with 120 and then go over it with 180. All right, this is the top of that roof. Just put a little bit of etch primer on my bare metal spots so I can put some primer on there. Let's sand it down with 180. Then I went over it with 320 and red Scotch pad. Now I'll prime it. 320? You didn't mention anything about 320. Okay, so after I do my sanding with the 180, I go around with the DA. Do you guys know what a DA is? Just hand sander, 6-inch, you know, kind of, you sand it with, put a 6-inch round paper on it. Anyways, in case you don't know that. I'll sand that around where the 180 scratches were. I'll hit that. Do not go over your body work. Sand around the edges. You can even do it by hand with 320. Scotch-Brite with a red Scotch pad about 1 inch or so, 2 inches beyond that. Then, getting too excited, you can prime. Woo! To blow off with a blowgun between your putty and your Bondo and your fiberglass, whatever. Always blow it off in between. All right, that's 3 coats of primer up there. All the rust is gone. Now, to wet sand with 320, guide coat, and then wet sand again with 600. This is guide coat. You spray it over, you mist it over a little bit after you sand with 320 to get your 320 scratches out with 600. You know, there's painting the roof. Did I mention gray Scotch pad with the scuffy stuff, scuffing clean beyond? So when you clear, gray for clear. Gray Scotch pad for clear, not red. Very important. So gray Scotch pad beyond where you're going to be painting, where your clear is going to be blending. As always, I get 2 hats on. As always, 3 coats of color, 2 coats of clear. You do not need to sand between base coats. Put a coat on, wait till it's dry, put another coat on until you get to 3 coats. Or coverage, depending on the color. It may take 4, 5, sometimes 6. Ugh. So, that took all the energy out of a 11-year-old golden retriever and the wet sock just to get through this part of the episode. Bought that new bumper online. I told them where to get it. Because normally I wouldn't let people buy their own parts, but as long as I know where they're coming from, I'm okay with it. Most people buy the wrong parts. I've had that happen a bunch of times. Oh, I brought my own parts. Yeah, 90% of the time, and I'm not kidding, they're wrong. Because everybody wants to save money. Everybody. Oh, I bought my own parts. All right. Well, what if I go to a nice establishment and bring my own steak? Say, I brought my own steak. All you got to do is cook it. People don't get that. I make money on parts. Oh, sorry. I'm getting too excited. Not for this that's not for this episode. All right. There she is. Front bumpers all painted. Waiting for the guys to come put the windshield in. Oh yeah. Now for part 2 in our series, Life in a as a body music. So April 19th, 2024 was my very first video. It is now May 13th, 2025. Had I been paying attention, I would have monumented that wonderful thing as well. So here we are. Let's do it together. Under a cord. Rust. Look at that. Look at that. Rust. Both sides. Just look at it. Cut all that out. Okay, so I sandblasted all that. It's all fixed inside there. There's a big hole on both sides. That's all fixed, ready to go. So I'm gonna oil and rust proof mixture all inside there. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the bottom under there. Rust on this side. There's a hole. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right in the back there. I didn't expect that. Maybe get all the rust out of there. There's one thing. See there. And busted all that. Okay, it's all painted. The hole's gone. I didn't realize I did a lot of. Ooh, sorry, slow down. I did a lot of talking in this episode also. Just didn't shut up. I don't know how many of you humans there watched to the end. I mean, to the end. After the little card, you know, where it says Rust and Restorations, I put stuff in. Okay? Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, and above all, share. Don't forget to share. I know you guys may not all do all those things all the time, but please do. I understand we all fall short, especially me. I may look taller on these videos. I'm not. Nope. 5'7", that's it. Lied to my wife. Oh, getting too excited. Lied to my wife when I first met her, and I told her I was 5'9". She believed me for 15 years. Yeah. No, I almost forgot to say it because I didn't write it down. Thanks for watching.
I would never guess that in a million years, what that was. Oh my God, that's beautiful.
Is it just a home screen?
No, she's in Afghanistan.